Continuing our look into the just okay games, I'm going to be showing you Deus Ex Invisible War. Invisible War was made by Ion Storm and produced by Eidos. Deus Ex came out in 2000 and was a smash hit. It combined a strong story, open world environments, and RPG elements. Now, Invisible War came out in late 2003 and had a lukewarm response. You have to consider the hype from these years. Far Cry, Doom 3, and Half-Life 2 all came out in '04. That's some stiff competition. Graphics were making a huge leap, and it's really all anyone cared about. Invisible War failed at this. The color palette is pretty much blue and black, plus the bloom was ridiculous. Think Blade Runner for art style, which works well for the setting, but wasn't revolutionary like Far Cry or Doom 3. This is not to say that the graphics are bad. For example, the textures on the bots are excellent. The lighting is also quite good. Not as sexy as, say, Doom 3, but very effective for the day. Far Cry had gamers drooling over the true open-world gaming, which Invisible War also failed at. The levels are very, very tiny, and there aren't many options on how to move through them. The biggest thing that people hated about it were the load times. The damn loading screens were frequent as all hell and took forever. Now, this had more to do with the hardware at the time and less to do with the game's optimization. I was rocking an Athlon XP3000 Plus with a GeForce FX 5900, so not exactly a powerhouse rig. Today's hardware takes those insane load times and grinds them into submission. Don't get me wrong, it's still annoying, but far more reasonable. You're probably wondering where I'm going with all this, since all I'm doing is bitching. Story and gameplay is where Invisible War shined. They took an extremely cinematic approach to the game. Everything pushes the story further, and it lets you dive into a rich world with tough moral implications.
So the Order hired you to kill the chief scientist on the Magrail project. A pretty way to do business. The WTO prefers that you spare the scientist and instead upload the gun schematics to our Seattle headquarters. By law, all innovations must be registered and patented through one of our offices.
I'm a huge fan of games that give you a choice of how to play. Non-lethal, stealth, shooting, melee, etc. Invisible War gives you those options and was really one of a kind at that time. I've played it every possible way, and I prefer non-lethal stealth. There are factions that all want your support and affect the story. That said, you can pretty much do what you want since the final choice comes down to the last two levels. First thing you'll notice at the menu screen is a theme that sounds suspiciously similar to the X-Men movie theme. Start a new game and you'll have basic options for a male or female character and a difficulty selector. This game has the best, hardest difficulty I've ever seen in a game. It's called realistic, and it's actually realistic. Headshots kill and limb shots barely hurt. Hit someone in the face with a baton and they'll go down quickly. The damage rules apply to both you and the enemies, and it's not cheap in the slightest. You play as Alex D, a modified mercenary in training for the multinational company called Tarsus. The opening cinematic has an entire city being destroyed to wipe out the Chicago Tarsus facility, and then everyone escapes to the Seattle facility. This is where you take over. Once your eyes adjust to the bloom, you can explore your apartment and gather your basic supplies. You'll be briefed by Dr. Nassif, leader of the Merc program. You'll be treated to excellent voice acting, telling you to talk with Billy, and then meet with the other recruits.
Here in Seattle.
I've been moved to Seattle? What about Billy? Is she here too?
Alex, I'm afraid something happened in Chicago. A terrorist attack. We evacuated you and Billy just in time.
No one told me anything about an attack. How bad is it? I have friends in Chicago.
You don't want all the details in one dose. Trust me. First, pick up your map to the facility. It's stored in a data cube inside the chest.
Then I'll unlock your door and tell you what I can about the disaster.
What was that noise?
Nothing to be concerned about. You have your assignment, Alex.
The most memorable here is the extremely cocky Leo Jankowski.
I just talked to Dr. Nassif. Know anything about a Code Yellow emergency? A security guard has been murdered.
Would I be running if there was an emergency? Me? You never heard the name Leo Jankowski in Chicago?
The dialogue tree lets you be as nice or as much of a dick as you want to be. You can feel the influence of Knights of the Old Republic here. After the meet and greet, the facility gets attacked and the game starts rolling. You get a pistol and a baton, and then you're hit with your first choice. There's an enemy and an ally. You can choose to try and sneak by, or help your ally. Get past this enemy and you'll meet Billy again, who tells you to go to your apartment and find out the truth about Tarsus. Come to find out, there's some sneaky shit going on, and these Tarsus people are full-on spying on you. Of course, Dr. Nassif says that it's all for your benefit, and they're not actually watching you take a crap, or filming little private movies. But come on, who's actually buying that? Make it to the lab and you'll get 3 biomod canisters, and yet another set of choices that will determine how you play the game. There are 3 different slots in every category, but you can only use 1. Now, you can change these later, but you will lose the canister. 2 of these slots can be bought by a normal biomod canister, and 1 can be used by a black market canister. My personal preference is stealth, strength, EMP, healing, and neural interface. EMP gives you so many workarounds to the tripwires and cameras. Plus, with neural interface, you'll never be short on cash, provided you don't mind robbing ATM machines. One disappointing thing is that you can max out your biomods in the second area of the game, and you'll be stuck with over 10 extra biomods at the end. Your inventory space is very limited, so choosing the right weaponry and biomods is important. You can also find weapon mods that will compensate for weaknesses in your build. Inventory items include health kits, food items, multi-tools for opening locks, and energy cells. The weapons are vast. Batons and dart guns are best for the non-lethal, but for the more kill-happy, you have the pistol, shotgun, SMG, sniper rifle, flamethrower, sword, knives, and a rocket launcher, plus an assortment of grenades and mines. Everything uses the same ammo, which is convenient. The game progresses from Seattle to Cairo, then to Trier, Germany, to Antarctica, and finally Liberty Island. Along the way, you'll be asked to support the causes of the WTO, the Order, the Knights Templar, and the Omar. Each have their points and their dilemmas. There are numerous side quests that will let you delve into the morals of the world. I won't get into the story too much since it's the main part of the game. Every area has multiple side areas such as bars and coffee shops, every one needing its own loading screen. Something annoying is that you'll have to disarm your weapons in certain areas, but you get asked the same questions every single time you visit. I don't know why they didn't do it automatically. You'll advance to a secondary location that usually has a boss battle. Now once you get to Liberty Island, you can pick the side that you agree the most with, and kill all the others. I recommend saving once you get there so you can get every ending. Pick your side and the game is over. Sometimes a sequel's biggest sin is not living up to the original. My only exposure to Deus Ex was maybe an hour of playtime and watching my best friend play it. Having barely played the original when Invisible War came out, I was uncorrupted by expectations. When I got Invisible War, I was captivated by its story and options. So much so that I've beaten the game at least a dozen times. For a while, I had Invisible War in my top 5 favorite games list, and it's still in the top 30. I still have my original copy of the game, bought in early 2004. I nearly panicked when I couldn't install it, but it can be had for $7 on Steam, which is well worth it. There are annoyances, such as no widescreen, and the random crashes that have plagued it since day one. Even with these issues, it gets my stamp of approval for a playthrough. Thanks for watching, and I hope you enjoyed. Please take the time to like, subscribe, and hit the bell icon for more videos.